Hello and welcome to OnTheTech. Today I'll be reviewing a fake iPod Nano 4th generation. However, as Apple have heavily copyrighted it, the manufacturer has called it the Red 8GB MP3 MP4 audio video player 1.8 inch. So let's go through the physical features. It's got a fairly realistic 1.8 inch screen. The menu buttons are fairly realistic, and the 3.5mm jack and the 30-pin Apple charging connection is also fairly realistic. So overall, the front does look very similar to the real Apple's version of the iPod Nano 4th generation. However, when we look on the back, we can definitely see that this is definitely not Apple's product, because there isn't Apple's logo for a start, and they've kind of ruined it by putting this horrible 8GB sticker, which kind of makes you think, is this really 8GB? I have to admit, the manufacturer of this has made the curve look very realistic. And on top you have normally what would be the hold button, but for this fake item it is actually the on button. So let's turn it on. So it feels quite cheap in my hand. As you can see, the loading symbol definitely looks fake. This is just a test of how long it takes to load. It takes quite a long time. And then it says welcome. The initial menu actually looks quite realistic. I mean, the font is almost there. You've got the menu at the bottom, it says 19 songs. The videos, it shows thumbnail of videos. Photos, it shows thumbnail of photos. Got podcast, extras and settings. And it shows how much memory there is. So there's 3,184 megabytes free. Although the initial menu looks quite realistic, all the other pages look horrible. The font looks terrible. It doesn't look realistic at all. The bottom tab, which shows how many songs there are, the thumbnails of the videos, the thumbnails of the pictures, it is completely fake. There isn't 19 songs on here for a start. I haven't got any of those films on the videos. I've only got one video as well. I haven't got any photos. 0 stations, the podcasts. I don't really know what to say about that. The extras, it just likes random pictures. And the settings, I have to admit, I'm not completely sure, but when it says 8GB, I know these type of dodgy products from Hong Kong and things, a lot of the time they lie about the memory. But I'm fairly sure that this is literally 8GB. As I plugged it into my computer, I right-clicked properties, and it did say 8GB. However, they might actually be very experienced in putting fake memory, and it might even be good enough to trick the computer. And it's locked itself. Why has it locked itself? Now, this is when things really start to go downhill. Basically, you click on music, there's one song on there. So first of all, that is lying. It's a MP3 file, just a random song I put on there. Empty disk. I then put about 25 songs on there to see if any of them worked, and they didn't. So at the moment, bearing in mind the main reason for this is actually the music, it doesn't work for me. However, my friend has one of these, and he said, oh, some of my songs do actually work, but unfortunately I can't tell you the audio quality. I can't tell you which specific MP3 files will work. So you're going to have to put lots of songs on here to find out which ones do work. The video gets even worse. I've tried AVI files, MP4 files and WMV files all in the video, and none of them have worked whatsoever. So I've got a feeling that the video is completely fake and it's actually not compatible with taking any video files, and it's just a lie. The photos I think are the same. It's actually got some photos here which is quite peculiar, but when you click on one, it actually almost freezes and crashes the iPod. The podcasts on here are a good example to show you how a lot of the features on this iPod are actually fake and they're just images. For example, the podcasts, when you click on it, it's an image of supposedly an FM radio which doesn't work whatsoever, and there's quite a few things on this iPod that does the same. So the extras, we've got voice, I'm not sure what that is, empty disk, it says that with a lot of things. I know one thing does work, and it's this game, I think it's Bricks. I don't know, I've never played this before. Well, I've played Tetris before, but I've never played this version of it before, so I don't actually know the controls. So this may be an upside. Sorry, I'm not very good at it, so I'm just going to quit. The iPod comes with a cable that connects USB into your PC or computer, and the other side goes into the iPod, and the connection is quite horrible, and when you actually try to do file transfers, it's very slow. Your computer becomes very slow when you do file transfers. A lot of the time it won't actually go through, so you'll transfer the music into the music folder, then you'll check it 3 seconds later and nothing will be in there. So I don't really trust it very much. There is one thing in this device that I've actually found works quite well, and I was surprised that they even incorporate it as it's such a cheap product. But as you can see, there's an accelerometer, which is very surprising. So I'm glad there's something that works well in this fake iPod. So there we go, that might come of use. So overall, this isn't a very good product, obviously. Many of the features don't work. The games work, the music works, but that's about it. So maybe if that's good enough for you, and maybe you have a very low budget, this may be the product for you. You can get them from many different dealers from Hong Kong, and there's a few in the United States, and there's many similar fake iPods which may be okay for some people, but the majority of people, I recommend you do not get this, as it is not very good. So as a review, I would rate this 2 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and goodbye.